All right, here we go. Test cricket's alive. You know, the Americans are wrong. 5 days, no result, but that's the best game of the summer. It's the first time I've felt something which is an emotional issue for me. Welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ASKTGC, India's leading digital insurance company. Don't worry about your Border Gavaskar trophy, guys. This is why the Ashes makes us feel. Look at Ben Stokes at the end there. Look at him. That's how we all felt. Pez, how did you feel?
Look, I couldn't call upon my own words, mate. So I'd like to borrow some words that I thought really captured everything. They come from Twitter. They come from an account called Loose Bus Change Official.
Oh yeah.
He says, "I feel the spirit of cricket tonight," and I'm with Loose Bus Change Official. When I say that, I feel the spirit of cricket tonight. And yeah, I can say that magnanimously because it's still 3-0 and 5-0 fuck off will have to be retired, although I'll leave that to you. I mean, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe it depends how Australia wins in the next game. But I feel good. It was a really good fight from England. Australia, you know, they were grinding. It was rise and grind day. And it feels like a pretty decent result. I'm not, you know, like I know in the next couple of hours, and I know tomorrow there's going to be some rabble-rousing about some shit. There's going to be some should they, could they, would they stuff. We're going to try and find some villains and some scapegoats. That's okay. That's a media contrivance that is literally a tried and true business model. You know, try not to get sucked into it too much. Maybe Pez is just protecting his friends here. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe I am. But I think it's a good game. I think maybe there are some things here and there that might have influenced it, of course. But I'm pretty happy with how it finished up.
Hey, and if you think that there was a villain in this game which cost either one of your teams that you support this match, click like. Click like on this video, and that's how you should let us know if you think there was a villain in this game. Pez, let's get into the three things. Whitewash avoided. Now, I'm of the minds that they should now void the series, because if this only ends... Now, Hobart's underwater at the moment, like the pitch is, and maybe the island state of Tasmania, perhaps. But if this series somehow ends 3-0, it's like the last Ashes series, which was 4-0. It feels like... you know, that's a pained, audible exhale that you can think about this series in future years. Like the series 4 years ago, like if it's not 5 or if it's not a good series, then what's the point? You know, like, okay, you know, we've had some memories. Usman's runs, you know, Bairstow's runs, Stark first ball, Warne's commentary. You know, I think there are moments here in this series, perhaps, but the whitewash has been avoided. And in this game specifically, if I'm going to be serious, like for England to come back from conceding 400 in the first innings to then be 4 for 36 and then to get a draw out of this game, fucking fair play. I mean, it's been, in my opinion, I think Bairstow is the difference between 4-0 and 3-0 tonight. I think that's the best I've ever seen Johnny Bairstow play in tests. He was sensational again today. He obviously falls with about 45 minutes left before the end of the day. But, I mean, you sort of hope, for England's perspective, that he can carry this further. You know, he's played 70 tests and he averages 33, so history says he won't. But he was sensational in this test match. England have fought so hard, and you know what? They probably just about deserve a draw in this game. IMO.
Yeah, sure, and they got it. Yeah, they just about got it. You know, right at the end. So, yeah, there was some really good performances in the game, mate. I'm still frothing on Zach Crawley's innings this morning. I was doing the blog for The Guardian, and I only say that because it means I have to watch the game like closely because you've got to type some words about it. And it was fucking flawless. It was strangely flawless until his dismissal, as in. He had 77 out of 91 runs at the start. He doesn't have a lot around him, but like everything that he did was bizarrely assured. Like bizarrely assured in the sense that, you know, a lot's been said about him thinking that 10's a good score, and no one being able to make a run at the top of the order for England and stuff. And then it was like, who the fuck is this bloke? I mean, we know he can play, but it was a very confident player that we were seeing, and he was dealing with every bowler. He was brutalising everybody. I mean, if he was still in, he'd be on 400. Like, he was just smashing everyone. Anyway, until he got out, and that was good bowling from. I just wanted to note that. I just thought, hey, that's like, I thought at the start of the day, I was like, I said yesterday, look, I think England will get there with a draw. It just had the feeling of a tough grind for Australia on a slow wicket, and that traditionally they struggle, to arm wrestle teams out. And I thought they did a little bit today. They're a bit better than they've been in the past, but I thought there was an opportunity for a young person to do something to write home about, and I think they had a few of those performances today, England. But otherwise, good value for the draw. Well done. It's a shame for the numbers and shit, but hey, there you go.
Mate, you're so right about Zach Crawley. Would you say that it was flawless, absolutely flawless? Let us know in the comments what song that is. And click like if you think that Zach Crawley cost England this game.
Mate, thank you for being so patient. That was literally the first thing I said, and I stopped talking 2 minutes later, and then you got in there.
Just circling back, mate, to what you said 3 episodes ago. Hey, mate, let's get into some villain shit now.
Good.
The question has been raised. The second thing we're talking about, did Australia declare too late? No real history for England to bat 100 overs to save a game. There was some weather around. They almost got there in the end anyway. But will Pat Cummins be going to bed tonight thinking, I should have given us an extra half an hour?
I just got lost thinking about Pat Cummins going to bed, and then remember that he's got a partner and everything, so it's not as fun. But I think he gave them enough time to win the game. But I do think a bolder declaration would have seen them home. Though I don't really attach a lot of like villainy to that. Like what's interesting about it is we get a little bit more of an insight into what Cummins does when he actually has some, like match level judgments to make, and it was a pretty conservative declaration. It was like, let's bat them the fuck out of this game, and let's make it a game where there's no carrots to offer. And we will just have guys around the bat. I just don't think Australia plays that well in those scenarios, to be honest. They're a bit samey. Guys need gaps. They need runs to score. But it's very easy for me to say it's the first time he's ever made a declaration, I think, in those circumstances. And I know he's made declarations before, but at the SCG, slow wicket, etc., bit of weather around. But I'm not going to bed thinking I should have declared sooner. It was really obvious.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking here like probably minutes, and so it's like, I mean, Australia came so close to winning the game. I guess they had 12 balls at the end, so it's like, maybe if they had 7 overs to bowl at that last pair instead of 2. I don't know. I mean,
they lost 7 overs to rain today as well, but they knew that there was rain around. They had to factor that in. There's all that sort of there's equinox shit.
I got to say, when Smith bowled his last 2 overs, there was 11 out of 12 balls which were fucking the business. Like, just there was some stuff there. There was a bit of shit to work with for the left-handers. He landed like 11 out of 12, and then the most cricket thing ever, the letdown that we all experience in cricket and life. He just drags a half tracker down for the last ball. But I tell you what, when Leach nicks off, and Warner takes the catch at first slip, 12 balls to go. You know what, mate? I was up and about.
Yeah.
I was fucking knees weak, palms are sweaty, mum's spaghetti shit. I was feeling things. Like, that's what cricket should be. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to the Big Bash tonight. But that's it was a great game of Test cricket. The SCG somehow pitch sort of gets worse in the sense that it becomes less interesting.
Yeah.
Somehow that's a sort of thing with the SCG. But you know what? It's a great 5 days of Test cricket. I actually thought, looking at the forecast, they were going to play about 15 minutes of cricket. So
yeah, exactly.
We should be thanking Sydney and Virat Kohli that we've got 5 days here, I think.
Yeah, like I don't know how Kohli's involved there, but let's just fucking, for the sake of it, say that he is, because I'm sure he is in some way. Yeah, getting Smith on was cool. That was good to see. he hadn't taken a wicket in about 48 years, and
Yeah.
it's good they got one. I mean, Leach is playing. Is it Leach? Yeah, he's playing for spin there. It annoyed me that like Smith actually couldn't really get any purchase. Like I know that he was landing them, but it was annoying me the way it's coming out of his hand. It's like there's no spin. There's no spin on the ball. You know, Brotherhood must spin the ball. But then again, all he is just the best bat in the world trying to win a game for his country bowling wrist spin. So I might let him off.
Any danger coming to rag there, Smudge?
Like especially out of the fucking marks as well. Anyway, maybe he's just bowling Zooters. Other villain stuff he goes... Oh, yeah, go on, sorry.
I was going to say, what about Leach finishing like 24 off 26 or something like that? Just
Leach looked fucking great.
He played a couple of shots of Cummins, like off his pads, off drive down the ground. I was like, fucking hell, he could be about 4 for this team. I suppose Joe Root bats there, but yeah, mate, it was a weird day, I suppose. It's just weird when like the ball trickles to the outfield and someone's going to run after it, like jog after it with a helmet on.
Yeah.
And the crowd's kind of like clapping that person who's going to get the ball and stuff. It was just this dystopian part of Test cricket.
What other villain stuff he goes? Just Alex Carey? Anything there? You're obviously a Mitsman yourself. Are you upset? You're worried? Yeah. What are you thinking?
Oh well, I mean, in lieu of Payne being available, I think he's the best selection for Australia. But I think it's I think he's had a maybe saying he's had a bad series because like what I say matters and it's going to be really important for people moving forward. But I don't think he's had a very good series. I think my view on this is that like. When Carey came in to replace Payne, everyone was like, oh, Australia's actually going to be better. Like, kind of denigrating Payne's achievements. Payne is still the best keeper in the country for me, and he averaged 32 in Test cricket, and that's pretty good. And there's lots of non-outs there, and I don't think... I just think that Payne was undervalued as a player. There's more to that with, like, his captaincy. I think the team is in a better place, blah, blah, blah. I just think that, like, Tim Payne as a cricketer was good. And yeah, he dropped a catch last year in Sydney, and that he should have taken that catch. But Carey's still good, but he's not as good as Payne, I think. So
with the gloves,
RIP my DMs with the gloves, the gloves. And Payne's batting was okay as well. Tim Payne was an okay Test batter. Like he was okay. And Carey averages 30 in Shield cricket. Like, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I just think I just think that keeping is like it's like when people try and talk about Olympic sports a little bit. You know, you just come in fucking cold. He's clearly
I've got some views on those.
He's got a few technical issues there. He's got some footwork issues. He angles his body strangely. I'm just saying what keepers are saying about that, and he's going to need to fix that. It's obviously hard to come in and be a top level keeper. He's now got to go to Asia. He's going to keep his spot. You know, you got to give him a chance to grow in the role, and actually I think he'll come through, and I think he'll end up being a really good contributor as a wicketkeeper. So, but yeah, it always sucks when keepers drop catches like that. You're like, oh, fucking hell. So anyway, thank you. He's lost us the Test as well, so.
That's right. So Inglis in for Hobart. All right. Third thing, Pez. Scott Boland's still the best ever bowler.
Mate,
he's
fucking unbelievable.
Mate, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm still confused by it, but it's really good. It's really good Test match bowling, and what it says about my gap in my knowledge. I didn't realize that he was this good because we were.
No, none of us did, mate.
Yeah, well, we were talking to someone who's faced him before today, and he was like, he's been a Test bowler for 4 years, and I never saw him at like the top of the Shield stats and that kind of shit. Like, but this guy is, mate, he's going to be so dangerous in England if he's still going for us in another 2 years. Next week, he's going to be dangerous to the pink ball, you'd suggest. Asia, like, he's fucking good. Really good.
Yeah, it wasn't a fluke. The MCG wasn't a fluke. I think he got some luck. He rode it, but I think everyone's been surprised, mate. I mean, I know the person you're talking about. He wasn't calling for him in the Test squad 4 years ago either. But like, but he's much better than we thought because we have a formula here when we talk about quicks. It's got to be above 140. It's got to be through the chest. It's got to be weapons. It's got to be intimidation. And Boland isn't quite that, but it's enough. And mate, I don't know about you, but I felt for large periods of today that he was the guy who I wanted with the ball in their hand. I include Cummins within that. I mean, Cummins went through periods today. He had some He had a couple of, I'm not going to say garbage spells, but a couple of very benign spells in him today. Boland has not done that yet, maybe apart from his first one in Test cricket. Everything else has been... It's just dangerous, mate. He's there and thereabouts, and even just when batters hit the ball, it fucking climbs, you know. They intercept it at strange times because he's always just ahead of you. It's brilliant stuff. It's not a guy just getting a bit of luck from hitting an area. He's obviously got a lot more about him. He is now the quick after the triumvirate. So good shit.
It's really interesting in this game where, like, if Hazelwood was available, he might not have played. If they played Swepson, Boland would have been the one to miss out.
Yeah.
I mean, Stark's got the most wickets for the series, but I'm also trying to think about, like, he's 32, Boland. Who was a guy who's come into the Australian team and had this impact? He's played 2 games, but I'm thinking, like, it's like Hussey areas or like
Stuart Clark is a good
Ryan
one.
Harris. Stuart Clark
came in and did it, you know, for a little while. Older shit. Yeah, but he was. I think
it's been a while.
Yeah, it has, mate. It's great. It's great. It's just seam up. It's presentation. It's reverse swing. It's really good, and it's so reliable. You know, it's brilliant stuff. And to do it on a flatter wicket as well. Really good to see. Anyway, any other villains or anything? I'm sort of keener on villains. I don't think there are any. Everyone's done pretty well.
I guess Green batted a bit slowly, so they couldn't get 380 ahead quick enough.
Especially Khawaja as well, selfish.
Yeah. Mate, what about the ball that got Cummins' ball that hit Mark Wood?
Yeah, fuck me. Mate, you can do a thumbnail with that. You can do the big fucking arrow on the YouTube thumbnail with that
one. Fucking, mate, talk about visceral minutes. Oh, man, I felt that. If that's not a broken foot, I don't know what is.
Yeah, knocking him off his feet is great.
The England done so well today. I mean, Butler's going home, obviously. Joe Root said that after the game. He's got a really badly broken hand, or finger, sorry. Bairstow, who knows if he'll play. Stokes with his side strain. Mark Wood's probably got a broken foot. I mean, they're fucking falling apart here. But you know, good draw, I suppose. Hashtag AskTGC, brought to you by ATCO. Before I get into that, the main podcast will be out tomorrow on iTunes and Spotify and right here on YouTube as well. Of course, we've got Barney Ronay. We're speaking to him in a little moment's time. And also, fingers crossed, unless someone gets Omicron in the next 24 hours, Pez and I will be back together in the same room because enough time has passed where we're allowed to be touching under the table, etc. So join us then. Now, hashtag AskTGC. Let me get it up, Pez, and also the question. Ardash Yadav says, hashtag AskTGC. Which is harder to face? Is it Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood because it's bounce, height, pace, stumps flying, or Ashwin, Jadeja, Axar spinning at 90 degrees, dust getting in your eyes every delivery you play and miss, makes you question your existence or purpose at their respective home soil? Also, hope you recovered from COVID. If I could, thanks, Ardash. The thing I like the most about Boland's been now statistically the greatest the greatest bowler via average for people who've ever taken more than 10 wickets is that Axar Patel's on that list as well because he's taken 36 wickets at 11 and Boland's like 12 wickets at 11 or 8 or something like that. For me, I know what I'd want to face or try to face, and it's Axar Patel or Ashwin or Jadeja in India because I'm not going to die.
Exactly.
When that happens. I'll just be defeated, humiliated, and that's, you know, that's funny.
Yeah, that's right. Like, and if it's a question for just protecting your wicket to save your life, again, I would choose the spinners because I think the bowlers could kill you. So what's the point of protecting your own life? But let's say it's someone else's life. All right, you could still get out by them killing you and you fall onto your stumps. So it could be fucking double. Either way, I just think I just prefer to stay alive. So yeah, I'm with you, mate. Yeah.
All right, well, there's that. A great 5 days in Sydney here. The next test match starts on Friday in Hobart. There's South Africa, India. That third test match, the decider, starts on Wednesday, I think it is. But keep it right here because the main podcast is out tomorrow, so see you then. Cheers.